yo, and welcome to another episode of the NBA podcast. Yours truly, Samson.
Chemist.
Bell.
What's good with you, my boys? How are y'all?
All is well, man.
All is well. Due to big news coming out, we shot a podcast literally a day before the Damian Lillard trade. So our pod from this week was supposed to be Damian Lillard rumors and all that, but the rumors are shut down. Yeah, bro. Damian Lillard is officially a Milwaukee Buck after a three-way trade with the Suns, Blazers, and Milwaukee Bucks to acquire Damian Lillard. I was gonna break down the trade, but I want to get your guys' take on it. Like, this is blockbuster, bro. This is one of the biggest trades. This is probably the biggest trade this summer. Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, this was our off season, bro. Literally.
Hell yeah. First things first, they lost Drew Holiday. That changes so much for that team. But at the end of the day, it is Damian Lillard, and nobody's gonna be able to stop Dame and Giannis. Bro, unstoppable. Literally unstoppable. But they lost defense. And I'll talk about that later, but they lost defense.
How about you, just?
It's crazy, man. It's bigger than the Beal trade. It's probably, like you said, the biggest trade of this offseason. Literally, completely changes the landscape of the East.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The power rankings, I think, in the East completely changed. I think it's going to be...
I still think Bucks are number one in the East. I still think they're first.
Did you say Bucks before this trade, or?
What do you mean?
Did you say Bucks number one in the East before this trade?
Yeah, they still were. Yeah, but now I mean, it's
I didn't have them.
Lillard,
I didn't have them number one just because
Really?
of how they performed this playoffs. And I'm not saying because of
Samson,
I'm not. But listen, I'm not saying just because I realized Giannis was injured and everything like that.
There you go.
I realized that, but I just didn't think he had enough support to continue this streak. So I saw how he was injured and how the team stepped up. Like, it wasn't that good. So that's why I didn't have them.
I agree. I had Celtics first just because they already had a solid roster, and then they got better through the Kristaps trade. So I thought Bucks were top three. The thing is, I was never really high on the Bucks. I haven't been ever since their championship. I've never been high on them, but
they definitely had a lucky run to the finals. But that's my opinion.
No, I've never been high on them just because I thought the supporting cast wasn't strong. That's literally why. I was I don't think they have a strong, especially after Chris Middleton got injured and coming back. I was even if Giannis was fully healthy last year, I do think they beat the Heat, but I don't know if they win all of it. You know what I mean?
Right. I think when it comes to the manner of this type of situation, you have to look at all parties, right? So Damian Lillard does go to the Bucks. They do lose Drew Holiday. They do lose some other key pieces within that roster, right? I was actually gonna go bring up exactly the Damian Lillard trade.
They lost Grayson Allen as well. I know.
Yeah, Dave Grayson Allen was another big key piece defensively.
It is.
And
the thing is, I'm always really high on the Celtics, and they always disappoint me. It's a problem because on paper they have the best, you know what I mean? They have the best team.
I really think Kristaps can help though.
I think he made them better. That's why I put them number one.
Better.
Chemistry, they've been building it. You know what I mean? They still have the same core for a while now. They've had Horford, they've had Tatum, they've had Brown.
Yeah.
They just got Derek White a season ago, but they had Smart who was with them until recently. Mm-hmm. So I'm always really high on the Celtics, but they always find some way to just blow the F out of me.
Always.
Yeah. That's the thing about them. That I feel like you can only have them so high in your Eastern Conference standings because you have to really see how they perform in the playoffs. The season stuff especially for the Celtics, I would say for the Sixers, but I feel like I don't have as much faith in the Sixers as I do. We've seen the Celtics go to the finals. Props to them. They made it to the finals before, so we can't I can't hate it. I've never seen the Sixers go to the finals in my lifetime. So
they never got out of the second round. I've never had faith in the Sixers. The Celtics, the year after they went to the finals, I was okay. You know what I mean? Every young player gets their finals loss. You know what I mean? They get the finals. They understand what the landscape is. They understand what they have to do, and they always get better that next year. That's almost every young team. If they hit the finals, that next year they're either gonna win it or get better. You know what I mean? We saw what happened. So I'm damn, because I really thought this year was gonna be it. They went to the finals, they're coming back, they have the same core, they're just gonna build on it, and then they failed. Tatum getting injured that game 7 did change things, but they shouldn't have been in that game 7 in the first place. With the Heat too.
It causes, and I'll say this for the Celtics, the reason they get in these situations is because of inconsistency, right? Jason Tatum, game 5, game 6, if I don't recall, he literally had 3 points until the fourth quarter, and then he drops 25 points. And I'm all right, that's a crazy comeback, but that's not acceptable. You're a superstar in the NBA, and you have 3 points in one of the closeout games of the Eastern Conference Finals series. You can't be performing like that and expect results to happen long term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with a team like that has no experience in the finals. I don't think one member on that team has a ring.
No.
Not one member on that team has a ring.
Talking about Celtics?
Yeah, the Celtics.
Yeah. No.
Not one member on that team has a ring.
No
so
way.
you have to be the guy to step up because, you know, people will argue if it's you or Jaylen Brown. And obviously people have given you like a million chances to show you like this is your team and you haven't proven that. I still think it's Jason Tatum's team, just like on the fact that like I don't know, like sometimes Jaylen Brown he can throw me off a little bit, like the way I watch him and stuff.
People were saying it was Smart's team too in terms of leadership because he was on the Celtics the longest. He was like their defensive leader and all that. So they were saying like he was a voice in the locker room and Tatum will kind of just be quiet too. And I believe that just off like demeanor, it seems like, you know what I mean, Smart's more of like a vocal like leader type of guy, right. Where Tatum just would lead by like ability, like being actual best on the court. But
I definitely think my take is the Milwaukee Bucks are definitely coming out of the East.
Yeah.
If Damian Lillard shows out as he's shown out, you know, throughout his career, doesn't have a slump in his career, Giannis is healthy, 100% healthy, right? Like we're not seeing nothing going on in the middle of the season. If we're getting no scares of like 10 games out, like 50, then I'm a come for concern. But if that's not the case,
if that's not the case, they're a lock. But the only way that they're not a lock is if Drew ends up going to either Boston or, in my opinion, Philly.
You don't think Miami?
Miami, I don't think that would happen, but if that did happen, that would be crazy.
The thing is, Miami throws me so off because it's like they don't look like they got it and then they just have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just throws me off because it's like who predicted the Heat coming to the net last finals? You know what I mean? Like
Nobody, not
every year it's like they don't have enough on paper. Like yes, Jimmy Bam, solid. You know what I mean? But it's like throughout the regular season last year compared to what they did in the playoffs, it's such a different team that I don't even blame people for that. You know what I mean? Like it's like no, you can't predict that because like some teams you can predict where they're gonna go, how far. But then with the team, the Heat, it was literally a different team from regular season to playoffs. Like they literally just completely played different, like just went crazy. So it's like I don't blame people for not being able to predict that because it's such a like different like switch. You know what I mean? But they did lose a lot of offensive assets. They were banking a lot on this Dame trade and they didn't get it done. So like I think now they're genuinely worse like for it, you know what I mean? Unless they make this Drew trade, but within Drew, you're gonna like trying to get Drew, you're gonna lose some pieces too.
I don't even know who they give up. They're not giving up Hero.
Yeah,
they're not giving up Hero
because you need that offense.
I think I'm so glad the Miami Heat didn't give up Hero for Damian Lillard. That would be such a L move for them long term. I swear it would because like Damian Lillard is like you have 3 to 4 years out of Damian Lillard. Right?
The thing is, if it was just a straight up Dame for Hero trade, I get it. I'd say do it. But the problem is they wanted like Hero picks and they wanted like some of their young players.
You're taking the franchise.
They actually said they wanted in all the talks they wanted Jimmy or Bam in every single talk.
Really?
They said that, yeah.
Oh yeah, that did come out. Which is like, what are you doing? Like, why would we do that? Like, that's literally our team.
You know, one thing I actually want to get on this a little bit. How do you guys feel about DeAndre Ayton leaving the Suns? Nobody really talking about that.
Ayton's tough. Like people really hate on him, and I understand why because you know like certain aspects like he doesn't try or he be lazy on defense, but like.
Bro, some of those videos, my fault to cut you off. Some of those videos are bad, bro. You know the one of like Jokic putting it up, grabs the board,
he didn't
puts
even
it up.
like try.
He was like, I was like, bro.
But at the end of the day, he averaged 18 and 10 with KD and Booker on the team.
Yeah,
18 points. So imagine when he's in Portland, when there's no main ball handler except for like Simons, but he's the number 2 guy now.
And they definitely weren't feeding him like that. I'm not blaming them. Like, first of all, you have Book and KD on the perimeter. And before that, it was, you know, CP3 and like they had shooters all around. Mikal Bridges, like everyone got to get their touches. And like, I'm not blaming them because he hasn't like proved himself, but like he wasn't getting like crazy touches in the post. You know what I mean? Like the offense was never running through him. It was never like get this guy a certain amount. It was mainly just open middies that he had and like putbacks and stuff like
literally.
that. So I think if they let him like the offense focus more, like I don't want to say around him because I don't think he could be like, you know what I mean? He could pull out to be like a, maybe not like Embiid, but like a Bam type of player, you know what I mean? Where it's like,
Get him the top 5, yeah.
Like get him the ball. Like I don't think he's like Sabonis level right now, but like if they start getting him more touches, maybe he could be, you know what I mean? Where then it's like, let's run the offense through him. But right now I think he just needs to get more touches and like involve him in the offense, you know what I mean? Like get that pick and roll going, so.
Yeah, and that Portland team is nice. I was saying it earlier, like, not nice enough to like win much.
Or even go to the playoffs. Well, they could
be an AC possibly.
They could play in it.
Yeah.
They could get through the play-in.
They got Scoot, Simons, Sharp, Grant, and then Ayton. Bro, that's a good young team for the next few years.
And Drew now, and they're probably gonna flip Drew for either more picks or more like other young players. So, and then Ayton's what 25?
25.
Yeah, that's a beautiful core to start with.
He's young.
You know, one thing I was gonna say going into talking about that trade as well. One thing I feel like a lot of people underrated and really didn't talk about: Nurkic to the Suns.
That's nice.
I'm gonna tell you something. I think they just upgraded on a big man for not too much to lose, right?
Yeah.
So like, especially where the Suns are at, I feel like they probably would have been better off to get like a point guard, but you know, they got. I think Devin Booker is gonna be suitable for that point guard
They'll
spot.
be fine.
They have Bradley Beal at the 2, KD at the 3, and I feel like that is gonna be like.
I think Booker and Beal have both done enough playmaking. Like Beal wasn't like the point guard, but he'd done enough playmaking in Washington. And Booker, we saw the same thing when CP3 went out, where they've done enough playmaking to where it's not chalked. You know what I mean? Yes, you do still want like a natural point guard, but like they've both done enough playmaking and they're both good enough at it for it to not be like effed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally. So,
but at first I was like, damn, Nurkic, because ever since Nurkic's injuries, like he's fell off. You know what I mean? Like especially on the defensive side, I was like, what are they doing on defense? You know what I mean? Like I was like, Suns are about to be cooked. Then I saw like some of the pieces they got. Like I'm not gonna lie, at every other position, like they have a pretty decent rotation now. So I get it. Like with small ball, they're gonna be tough. Like I'm looking at the whole, like I looked at all their rotations. I was like, that's not too bad. You know what I mean? Like they have a solid backup at almost every position at this point. Like a good enough rotation around their 3 stars. So at first I was like, what are they doing? Like they're gonna get cooked on defense. No, like their perimeter defense is already like shaky, and then their interior defense is gonna be cooked. And then I kind of saw like the bigger picture. I was like, okay, like at least they have, because before, you know, it was like they had so much on the 3 stars that they didn't have like players around them, and they started getting like Yuta Watanabe, this player, like Eric Gordon. So I was like, okay, this is not too bad.
Not too bad. I think me personally now, like seeing, I guess this is like the biggest move. I think I'm going to go into the James Harden situation a little bit later, but like this move, I feel like kind of solidifies what's going to happen in the East, right? So I want to get your guys' take on what you guys think is going to happen in the East after this Damian Lillard trade.
I'm saying they're number 1 seed because no one can stop them. You have somebody you have the best player in the paint. You have the best shooter, arguably best shooter in the league.
Damn, arguably.
Arguably, yeah. Steph and Dame, arguably. And then who's stopping that? Bro, I got the number 1.
Steph,
and then,
I mean, Dame comes off the pick, bro, and shoots from like 40 out. Exactly. So it's like you got that now, and then you got Giannis rolling.
You gotta worry about Giannis? Oh
and Giannis, do you think Giannis doesn't even have to really worry about a shot anymore? He has Damian Lillard.
Exactly.
It would be nice, obviously, like, you know, add that to your bag, keep working on it. But like,
whoever, if one of them's struggling, the other will get 40. One of them's getting 40 because you gotta focus on, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. Outside and the paint, double threat. Literally, like on some new Shaq and Kobe type vibe.
Man. Okay, relax.
I mean, not literally, but like
not literally, but like in terms of like the threat you got to deal with inside and outside.
That is a threat because Giannis is modern day Shaq for real.
That is very true. The mobility he has, especially as a big man. Yeah,
and I'd argue Dame's a better shooter than Kobe too. So it's like
it's dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous. Perimeter and inside, like it's
offensively, it's a problem. But I was saying like when it comes not really in the East. Maybe in the East, but I'm thinking like Denver and like Phoenix.
With the Celtics, for sure.
Celtics too, yeah.
You don't think the Lakers are a threat in the West this year?
They are.
But you're saying you're saying that you're championship contenders.
Like Idris was telling me.
He's saying perimeter teams are gonna like cook.
Yeah, but who's guarding Booker and Beal on the Bucks? Nobody.
Booker and Beal? Well, obviously Dame could be on Booker, but that's it. Yeah.
But and it's not really the best defender.
I would actually have him on Beal, to be honest. Actually, I wouldn't want him
and then
on
who's
Booker,
guarding Booker? It's tough.
Like he's saying the perimeter
they might
defense
get cooked. But inside they have Giannis and Brooks, so that's not a problem. But I'm saying when they face like Jamal Murray, who was cooking the Lakers, swept the Lakers.
Who did they have at the 2? Damn. Who did they have at the 2? The Bucks.
Who do they have?
The Milwaukee Bucks at 2.
Grayson Allen wasn't starting, right? Or was he?
At one point he was. Yo, who's their 2?
Their roster for this year?
Maybe it's Connaughton.
Yeah, I think it's Connaughton. Yeah,
I thought he was a 3, not this one.
Yeah, I thought he was a 3 too.
But because they would have Chris Middleton at the 3. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah,
maybe
Chris Middleton. And then Giannis at the 4, Brook Lopez at the 5.
I don't know, but maybe their offense will be just so good that like the lack of defense won't
That's
matter.
what I'm thinking. Because I think the main part, like defense was not the main problem with the Bucks. The main problem was their stagnant offense. And that's literally, like we saw that when Giannis went out, they were confused, bro. They were sitting around like, what do we do? Chris Middleton's not the threat he was. I'm not saying he can't get back to where he was or at least close, but like, you know, he just came off an injury last season. Everything
2
like
injuries
that.
actually, to be honest.
Yeah, so he wasn't there. And then Drew is just way too inconsistent on offense. One of the best on-ball defenders, but he was just way too inconsistent on offense. Like, his shooting numbers will go down like pretty badly every playoffs. So you can't rely on him on an offensive. So now like their offense that was really their problem. Like offense, half court offense specifically, because in transition they're straight. So it was like, from like having a stagnant offense where it's kind of Giannis creating, and Giannis is not a shot creator either. So it's like, you feel me? Like, what do we do? To like, we got Dame now. Like, shot creation on 1,000. You feel me? So.
I think Dame Lillard got what he wished. I think times 10, to be honest. This is way better than the Miami.
Way better.
You know what I mean?
Way better than Miami.
Because you have a guaranteed superstar. I don't think Jimmy Butler is a superstar, but obviously not to the realm of Giannis, you know. And I think his upside for Giannis compared to Jimmy Butler's upside, like, I think Jimmy Butler is not like, he's definitely like hit his peak. Like, I'm not saying like he can't get any better, but he's definitely like,
This is his peak.
This is his peak. Like,
This is his peak.
Jimmy Butler cannot just like, he's a great shooter, he's a great defender. Like, everything he does is like good, great, like it's arguable, but like he can't like become like great at shooting. You know what I mean? Because like,
Unless he becomes like a 40% shooter this year, but
Yeah.
it's not.
He's more of a mid range. Like he's not an outside threat.
Yeah.
exactly. And going into actually another move, a potential move that could happen. Hopefully this move doesn't happen before this pod is posted because actually, this is, but James Harden. So I heard some potential of him going to Minnesota, and then I was, Soph let me know about actually him going to the Clippers as a more highly, likely move. So
I don't think if he went to the Clippers, bro, that is another failure. Like, you know, like the big three in Brooklyn. Everyone thought that would work. Not
really,
what's another big three?
I would say like when
Westbrook,
Paul
AD.
Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and all them went to Brooklyn after getting traded from Boston.
Westbrook, AD, LeBron.
Yeah, what's the Lakers? Bro, these big threes with too much offense, like 3 ISO balls, ISO ballers not going to work.
Nah, but I think we have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George can hold their end on defense, 100%.
They can. They can.
These are two much better defenders than any of the big threes we just mentioned.
I don't know. Harden just be.
I know the Heat. They're done. They got out of trade talks with Harden. I know that. The thing is, Harden is just like why, and no team wants to bank on him because this is like what his third team in like 4 years, bro. Like
Always trade requests.
He's having evident problems in each of the franchises he's going to.
yeah.
So he's becoming a liability, to be honest.
Yeah, and the Clippers already like don't have a future because they banked everything on Paul George and what's it called, Kawhi. They got lucky with Westbrook taking like a $2 million contract when he's worth more.
Sure, what do you mean lucky? He's supposed to. He has to get humble eventually.
He's not worth $2 million though. Like definitely more than that. Like think about it. He's making like rookies are making more than him.
But I think after the 3 years he had with us, like,
Rush?
yeah,
His value's down for sure. I just don't think he's $2 million.
$2 million's insane.
Yeah.
$2 million's crazy.
I don't know. I feel like after the performance he's put up with the Lakers the last couple of years, I'm not saying like some players will get humbled whenever in their career, right? But Russell Westbrook happened to get humbled when he was in LA, and I'm not saying he could perform at a much better pace at a different team, but he got humbled in LA, and like people don't see him for his true value anymore. You know, like that's why. By the way, when he was in Washington, they still looked at him at a certain way because you know he was still performing in Houston. He was doing well. He went to Washington. He still proved himself. Then he went to LA. You know, I can't like.
I don't think his value dropped off that much though. I think mainly LA was the fit, and then after a while, like it just started to get in his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we saw with the Clippers in the playoffs. Like he's still like I'm not saying he was like outstanding, but like he's still like a solid rotational player who can like orchestrate an offense. You know what I mean?
I agree. I don't think offensively he's that strong, to be honest, anymore. I don't think he's the same guy.
He's not as athletic. He's not
as athletic.
Yeah.
Athletic. He's not defensively he's good. Like defensively I have to give it to him. Like he still has it on that end, but
Talking about Harden though, I think the Clippers should like lock in more on Drew instead of Harden. I think Drew would
Hell
fit
yeah.
more.
Hell yeah.
Way more. Just like in regards to drama and shit. But
Better team player, better defender.
Yeah.
Maybe not better on offense, but like you said, when you have PG, Kawhi,
You don't need more offense
and
for
Westbrook, like yeah, I don't want to say more
and
offense.
also Drew's a good scorer. Average.
He's a good playmaker too. Like he's solid. Like I'm not gonna say he's out this world like Harden,
Yeah.
but like he's still
He averaged
solid.
18 and 7. 18, 7 and 5. He'll be good. But
you think he would be better? You think he would be a better move for the Clippers than?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because then they'd have defensive wings and a defensive point guard. Still have a solid point guard who could play make.
Oof.
That'd be tough.
Does Russell Westbrook come off the bench or he's still starting?
Off the bench.
I'd put him on the bench, but
Because Drew Holiday starts.
yeah, because that's not enough shooting if you have Drew and Westbrook next to each other.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true. Very true.
From the outside, at least.
You talked about Drew Holiday potentially. You think he would be a good fit in Miami?
He would. That would be crazy because the fact that Dame wanted to go to Miami ends up on the Bucks and then Drew goes to Miami, that would be so insane. And it would work, obviously. But I think he would work in Philly the best.
Really?
Yeah. In replacement of Harden, I think Drew would fit in Philly.
But like, does that like? I feel like the Philadelphia 76ers should be only looking at how to get options to win a chip, because they don't have anything else.
That is an option.
But I'm not saying you think Drew Holiday is gonna get them over the hump in the Eastern Conference.
Bro, think about it. He helped Giannis get over the hump.
But I don't think he was
Embiid
a
is
crucial. I
like-
don't think he was the number 2.
Chris was.
Arguable number 3. Arguable number
Arguable,
3.
yeah.
Arguable number
Arguable.
3.
On
They're-
offense, at least Chris
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
but he still gave them a lot of on-ball attack.
They got
That
Tyrese
was
Maxey. Not the
Tyrese
same as
Maxey.
Middleton, but still.
I'm not gonna lie. This is really early to say, but if I was Philly, I'd blow it up right now.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you. Shoot, that's a
Like if you're an organization right now, obviously you're thinking I have Embiid, like I need to build around him.
You have to.
They're chalked, bro, and it's not. I don't even want to fully blame them. Like yes, their organization made dumb moves, like Tobias over Jimmy.
That was the dumbest move of
Terrible
this generation.
Markel
Oh my God.
Fultz.
Yeah, but like at this
Okay, you
point,
can't
bro,
call that.
Embiid's got like 2 years left or a year or two. Is it a year or two? I think it's 2, and he's for sure leaving. You got drama with Harden, and they've already showed like, bro, like. They can't get out of the second round. Like, bro, if they didn't get out with that team with Jimmy, Tobias, all of them, like, they're not getting out of the second round, bro. It doesn't matter. Like, who can you trade for Harden that would give them, even if it's Drew?
Yeah.
Like, they're not getting out of that
And it's
second
not like
round.
the East is getting any easier after this.
Exactly.
move,
It's only gotten harder. You feel me?
Harder.
Celtics got better. Bucks got better.
Oof.
Damn, you actually have a great point. Because I say the same thing about us. Like, I think we should blow it up. But, the Lakers have too much pride and ego to do something.
Y'all
that
gotta
sort.
blow it up for sure.
We have to
Y'all
blow
are
it up.
gonna end like I'm not gonna lie.
Because I'm thinking about, like, how the Thunder are going to be in, like, 3 to 5 years. How the Rockets
Y'all
are
are
going to be in
done. Y'all are
35
done.
years. Bro, we're going to be we might not even be a playoff team in 5 years. If
Y'all
we
at
don't-
least have, like, a few young players. Or, like, if you think about Philly, like, who they got, Tyrese Maxey is pretty much it. And Tyrese Maxey is older than people think. Like, he's, like, people think he was a rookie and then, like, bro, he's, like,
No.
he's
He's in his 3rd or 4th season.
I think he's 25 or 26, bro.
No. He was in Kentucky like.
Bro, I swear.
No,
3 years
he's
ago.
no. I remember
He's not that young.
Bro, he's definitely right. He's
24.
He's 22.
Tyrese?
Young, yeah.
We're
Cat.
tripping. We're
Who am I
tripping.
thinking? Wait.
My fault.
I'm thinking about somebody.
Who's thinking about? My fault.
There's somebody who everyone thinks is young and they're not. My fault. That was
There's so many players like
that
that.
was a brain fart. But there's somebody like everyone like feels like they're 23, 24 because they did multiple years in college and they're actually like 27, but I forgot who. Or 26, but I forgot who.
He's a superstar.
Not like a superstar, but a star. It doesn't matter that much, but I thought it was Tyrese, but it's not.
I was gonna say Lakers definitely. It's inevitable. In 2 years, y'all are done because LeBron's contract's done. He's out of there. When Bronny comes in, he's out of there.
Wherever team he goes, he might
And
have to
AD's
run
out
and
of
go
it.
to like the OKC then.
You never know, bro. But yeah,
Hope so.
they're out of there, bro.
Reeves, Hachimura.
That's young depth. I'm just saying like as a I'm a real Lakers fan. Like I'm not like a LeBron fan. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
very
just trying to
clear.
think who you guys have.
I
that's
literally
young.
remember 6 years of my life we did not go to the NBA playoffs one time. We were a freaking 15th, 14th, 13th seed for 6 years. If I have to suffer that again, I don't know, bro. If I had to suffer that 6 years again, I was a kid, right? I was like in middle school. Everyone used to make fun of me, be like, bro, you're a Lakers fan, trash,
Yeah,
and that.
I hated
Who
Lakers.
won the NBA finals, bro? Oh my god. Payback is ever. Anyways, but I was about to say, I don't want to go through that 5 to 6 years again. And I don't know, like, with that being said, it's kind of like I want to go back to Philly, right? You talk about them blowing up, but a lot of these teams, like, they're thinking about the money more than
Yeah,
they're thinking about
I don't think they're gonna blow it up. It's just like obviously they're looking from a future standpoint, but I get at the same time we have Embiid. Let's build around him. That's our time.
Do you think they trade for Embiid? Do you think the Sixers have like the courage to trade for Embiid and really start it all over? Have Tyrese Maxey?
No.
Should they? Yeah, because I think Embiid's shown that he can't get over that hump, and it's not even like I think if he had better number 2s and 3s, but it's also partly on him because it's like, bro, he's averaging 30, and then in the playoffs it's like 24. Like, you know what I mean? The biggest MVP drop in the playoffs like ever. Like he literally goes down like 4
I
or 5
disagree.
points.
I don't think you should get rid of him. I feel like that would be the dumbest thing ever. To get rid of.
I think get rid of him because he's gonna leave. To be honest with you.
That if that's the case.
Yeah, I
then
think
yes.
he's gonna leave as a thing because it's like, bro, you already got an MVP. Like you don't want to be an MVP who's never won a ring.
Yeah.
So he's gotten his MVP, and now he's like, all right, I'm 20. What is he? 27, 29?
I
think he's 29.
28.
He's 27, 28.
28, 29, something like that. So he's like, I'm in my prime right now. I'm gonna start dropping off probably like 33, 34. Like this is my time to go get a ring.
He's 29. Damn, he's 30. He's almost 30, bro.
That's what I'm saying. And he has like 2 years left on his contract. So by then he's gonna be 30, 31. So it's like, all right, bro, how many years do I have left? I'm gonna leave and go to the best situation. And
Damn.
Philly doesn't have like OC picks as far as I'm aware of. You feel me?
No, they don't have anything because they gave up everything for their future, and they had basically
Yeah.
like 3 to 4 failed projects.
Yeah. And it's not completely their fault. Like nobody could predict what happened with Markel Fultz. You know what I mean? Nobody could predict what happened with the Ben. Like people forget, like Ben Simmons was an actual star. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
he was a star. So it's like okay, that's unfortunate. The shit that happened with Markel, unfortunate. So it's like I'm not saying they made all the wrong decisions. They didn't make some, but it's like at this point, like what do they have left? And if Harden wants to leave too, like are they banking everything on Embiid and Maxey? Like I think Maxey has a high ceiling, but it's like. His max ceiling is like CP3 level. Like it's not like you know what I mean. It's not like at this world like Dame or Steph. So
He doesn't have like the skill set that's like. I don't feel like he's like a crazy shooting threat.
yeah, exactly. It's not like Dame Steph level. If it was, then I'd say you got this. Like you got the future, but they don't. So I think they're just gonna ride out the Embiid contract. Embiid's gonna leave, and then they're just gonna have to rebuild. but like from scratch. You know what I mean?
Because this James Harden thing could happen any day. I'm really waiting for it. Cause,
Yeah.
Me too. That's gonna be insane.
Because I know, after what he said about the president, he can't, I don't think he could play for the Sixers anymore.
he's not. You know, he's not playing for him. Like he's gonna be traded.
Yeah.
I just really wonder where
What do you think is the best option for Harden if he were to get traded? Like today?
Harden, bro. Best option.
I still say Clippers.
I'll say Clippers.
That's
Like,
it.
I'll
I
say
say
for his
Clippers.
career.
Like
for his
contending team that doesn't have like a really strong shooting and passing point guard. Like
And he can push himself, like defensively he can push himself. I think with the right motive and the right, like, you know what I mean, the right talk around him, like he could definitely defensively push because he can play defense. Like I've seen James Harden play defense, especially when he was on the Sixers, because that was like a time, like a point in his career when the shooting wasn't really like making it for him. So I'll see him in the defensive
he
end.
could play defense. He used to be chalk. Like he used to not try. That's the thing. He was
Yeah.
never a bad defender. He didn't try. And
Yeah,
he
he's
started-
averaging like 38
when he tries,
points.
he's
He didn't
straight.
want to. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say Clippers.
Where would this guy?
Trying to think like realistically, like also not just best fit, like what like teams could actually like trade for him and everything like that.
You know what's crazy? It's gonna be some random ass team, just like how it was for Dame. Like I bet it's.
You know
not
what?
the
I'm gonna
Clippers.
call this on the pod right now. I don't even know if this might happen. James Harden to the Mavericks.
Bro, I was thinking
James
that.
Harden
That'd
to
be
the
tough.
Mavericks.
That'd be
Absolute-
tough.
If that happens, I called it on this pod.
The thing
I swear.
is with Dame, they had that respect where they wanted to trade him to a contender. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was the whole point of the
I
trade.
respect that. That's good.
Harden, like you saw what he did. I don't think they have respect for him. So if they want, they'll send his ass to like Detroit for all they care. You know what I mean? Like as long as they get the, you know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
literally dissed the GM. Like
grimy, dude.
he
If
gave,
went to Detroit.
yeah, he gave up on them. Dissed the GM. Like at this point, like as long as they're getting a good return back, they'll trade him wherever they
The
want.
thing is, who would the Mavericks give back? Because Philly's definitely gonna want to star in return, and I don't think Dallas is giving up Kyrie or Luka for Harden.
For sure not.
So it's
Yeah,
gotta be
definitely
a team.
not them.
It's gotta be a team that like would have something for Philly.
Nah, don't want him to come to the Lakers. Please don't. That would be that's
No, that's not happening.
That's not. I don't think it's
not
not.
happening.
that's not
That's not happening.
a team that could give. I know Boston could get something up for him.
They could, but I don't think they're going to because
'Cause
they have
it
such
would
a
be
solid.
weird.
Yeah, it would just be a
It would be weird.
chemistry waster.
Miami. You think Miami would give something up?
They would have to give up Jimmy or Bam.
You don't think Tyler Hero? They'd definitely give up Tyler
That's
Hero.
not enough.
If they could give up
Tyler Hero, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. That could be something. That's definitely something. Like that's not
for
like,
sure, for sure.
That's not a sleep. That's a
Maxey,
sleeper.
Hero, and then Embiid. You think that's going to the finals?
Oh, you said. Oh, I was
Like,
thinking.
like-
I'm
I was
not
thinking
saying-
Harden on the Heat would be tough fit wise. I just don't know.
I'm not saying going to the finals, but I'm definitely like
Philly
plotting
wouldn't
this.
do that. Why would they trade Harden for Hero?
Philly,
Hey,
bro.
Harden
Philly
on the
did
Heat
that-
though would be pretty tough. Harden on the Heat would be pretty tough.
That would be tough.
That's the one thing they don't have.
That would
like-
be tough. But
Timberwolves.
that would be fine.
Timberwolves.
That'd be
I
fine.
just think because they could give up some things for him.
Oh, they would have to give.
They
They
would
have
not
to
give
give up
up.
Cat.
They'd give up Cat.
Nah.
Cat and Embiid wouldn't work. It might. Actually, I don't know.
Cat and Embiid. Oh no, hell no. What the
James in Minnesota would be fire, but I don't know if that would work.
Because they have Rudy Gobert at the 5. Cat is kind of like a controversial guy because I feel like he hasn't lived up to his potential, but yeah, he has so many excuses on like why he's not like where he's supposed to be at in his career.
I don't know, bro.
It's not his team anymore. Though.
Yeah, definitely is Edwards, bro. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like James Harden would be like,
It's just like the teams. Like most teams are thinking like this guy's full of drama. Like why would we want to trade for him?
Yeah.
And
that's
fair.
how I think about it too. Because I'm
That's
like, bro,
fair.
like he's been on like what? He was on the Rockets, then he went to the Nets, then he went to the Sixers.
Yeah.
Now he's bro.
I wouldn't be surprised if he went to somewhere like Brooklyn, where Brooklyn has so many like young guys that could actually help.
But he's already been in Brooklyn.
You never know.
But yeah, like he said, I don't think the Sixers will treat him as well as Damian Lillard. Like Damian Lillard was literally like the heart and stone of that. You know what I mean? That Trailblazers team. That's why they probably gave him the.
But the thing is, like a team with like the Pistons wouldn't even trade him because like it has to be a team that's contending for something that would want Harden. But at the same time, it's like what team's contending would want to risk it on Harden, and he made it so hard on
Or
himself
I think
to
they
risk.
should
So it's
just-
just like such a like, what do we do?
If the Sixers are that desperate, they should just buy him out and just have him. He could just get signed with another team. To be honest.
Most likely, probably just gonna go to LA Clippers. Most likely.
We'll see. Hopefully, in the next week, we'll definitely see something about James Harden.
Yeah.
Getting into last topic of this pod, I did want to talk about new NBA season coming up. Man, yeah, we're 1 month away. We're less than a month away, actually, from the NBA season. Preseason is going to be starting next week. I know we play the Warriors on the 7th of October. Definitely tuning into that one. Man, like, I just want to get you guys...
week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay. That's next week.
Preseason starts
Let's
next week.
freaking go, bro. Oh
You know
my
they're actually
God.
going to have some games in Abu Dhabi.
Really?
Yeah.
For
I
preseason?
heard,
Yeah, preseason.
That's fire.
It's lit.
Okay.
Lit. What I was gonna say, yeah. So looking forward to the season. I don't want to do predictions, not yet, just yet. I just have some things. I want to just get you guys' opinion on the new season. Just after this Damian Lillard trade, how do you guys view I guess this NBA season? Do you think we're gonna be having more exciting news, more exciting games?
Man.
And everything, the East is definitely taking an upgrade. I personally think the East might be better than the West.
Yeah. Every single year, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the best season ever. Every single year because some crazy shit happened.
I think the West is gonna be a bloodbath because I think the teams because I think there's a lot of teams that are good now, and I feel like they're all kind of close to each other. You know what I mean?
100%.
In terms of talent and
And
ability,
they're all beefing too. They all got beef too.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm trying to
Dallas got
see-
beef with Phoenix.
I'm trying to see Mavs versus Suns. I hope my boy does.
That's a banger. That's
I
a
hope my
class.
boy Beal does well. I'm trying to see every Lakers versus Nuggets game.
LA versus Memphis.
We're gonna win. Laker Nation. Laker Nation.
Denver versus Phoenix. Oh my gosh.
Denver
there's so
versus
many
Phoenix
rivalries.
gonna be lit too.
Ooh, there's a lot, bro. Even the East is gonna be a bloodbath. Oh my gosh.
I think OKC's gonna be a sleeper this year. I think they're gonna win 40 something games. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna win close to 50 games.
No,
I think
it's a
hot take. I think the Thunder will go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is the year they do it.
You know what I think is a sleeper? The Knicks. I think Knicks will be up there. I think Cleveland's gonna fall to 6 or 7.
You know, people were saying that after that Bucks move, they're the Cinderella Cavs to the conference finals thing is kind of done.
I think it's done. It's done. Unless they pick up. Thing is, they have a tough squad, but I feel like they're just gonna.
I'm not gonna lie. This last year was their best.
Yeah,
There's their best chance.
it was.
They can just build chemistry, get better. You feel me? It was mainly just Jarrett Allen and even D Mitch fell off that play. Yeah, he was
He
not
didn't
doing
play
well in
good.
that
The,
playoff. I was
the
so
Knicks
con-
were low-key exposing.
I thought they
them.
were the sleeper last year. I was literally they're the sleeper. They got a
Yeah.
good perimeter, good inside. They're straight. And then Jarrett, Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley got out rebounded by Mitchell Robinson. I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
bro.
are you insane?
But
got a
but
tough
don't give
squad.
credit to Mitchell Robinson. That is a dog.
They got a tough squad.
The boards, yeah,
Jalen Brunson's go improve. He's 26, 27,
100%.
25 low key.
You seen how RJ Barrett played in FIBA? Hopefully, he
RJ
steps up.
Barrett, they got Julius Randle's gonna stop fucking up.
You know, every Knicks fan, by the way, I'd be talking to be like, I hate Julius Randle, bro.
Really?
I swear, because they're dog. This guy was
only
by the
got
way,
good.
before Jalen Brunson, he was supposed to be that star of the Knicks team.
He
Yeah,
was.
he's inconsistent. No, because he had a crazy regular season, and then he just fell off in the what's it called in the playoffs. I think this is 2022.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah, it's because his half court offense isn't that good.
and he can't. He doesn't
He
know how
only
to use
goes
that
left.
right hand.
He only goes left.
Yeah.
Only goes left.
That's his problem with the Lakers too.
Yeah.
No, I think they're gonna improve this year. I think they'll be a sleeper. Top four.
Top 4.
I think Bucks and Celtics are just gonna be racking up wins.
I pray for that conference.
Yeah, I think one of them's getting 60 wins this year.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna be them two are gonna be racking up wins.
Racking up wins. It's gonna
And
be
then-
tough.
I think Lakers gonna come out solid this year. Hopefully.
We should fade a Lakers Wizards game.
I want to.
What
We
it-
gotta fade a Lakers Wizards game, and then we gotta do interviews
I'm with it.
outside.
I'm down.
Interviews outside.
I'm down.
I want to actually start doing that for the Wizards Wizards
with it.
games.
They had
Couple
to. Lakers had to fight their way to the play-in and the playoff, but I feel like this year they're gonna be a top 4 seed. It's gonna be smooth sailing.
No, it's unacceptable. By the way, for any all Laker nations, it's unacceptable for us to be anything below 5th seed in the Western Conference. Nothing.
We'll see, bro. But I'm excited. It's gonna be tough.
I'm excited to do rankings. We could do
Yeah,
predictions.
I want to do rankings the week before the NBA the NBA season starts. So
Okay.
you know what I was gonna say? We're gonna get a name for the NBA pod because it is generic and I really want to stand out. So by NBA season, I will promise the viewers here that we will have a name for this NBA podcast.
Cool.
It's gonna be generic. It's not gonna be generic. It's gonna be something out of the box, and you're gonna remember us for it. But guys, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in for this week's NBA pod. Like, share, subscribe, all that. More content coming soon. The boys, we out.
Peace.